and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
Hello, everyone. We are back. I know you all probably desperately missed us. That week off was horrible for everyone involved. How are you, George?
Hey, what's happening?
Leroy?
I'm all right.
Good. Love the enthusiasm today. Every week I say it, every week he sighs. Let's say hello to chat. B-Rose is in the house. Good to see you. Mo Biggs, our latest moderator. Scrolling down, George is there. Johnny Cage, good to see you back, man. You've been away, so I've been told. I hope you're okay. Amanda B, where are you? Talking to Mo about something. Who knows? K Manifesto. And Phoenix Animation.
George, the real reason I told you not to watch our stream from yesterday is because of the way Amanda B described her sandwich. You would not approve of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did skip it.
How did she describe her sandwich?
I'm not going to repeat that filth on your stream, Rob. I'm not doing that.
Oh yes, I remember that. That was something. And Shane Davis let that one slide, and Leroy brought it back up. So that says it all. B Rose is saying Cobalt is 85% funded. Back it today. Yes, do so. And guys, if you're able to share this stream out on socials, we're away for a week. People tend to go away if you're not streaming every single time. What are we talking about today, George?
You said the wins, right?
The wins, yes. I have this great little note here.
Comicsgate is making it rain up in this bitch.
Right. All right. Let's share my screen here and we'll get into it. But I don't know if it's you guys or if it's like, do you think it's like a lack of drama that we're noticing all these wins, or do you think it's related, or you think it's just? I don't think it's
coincidence that the times we see the biggest growth in Comicsgate is when there's the least amount of drama. I don't think that's coincidence.
George?
I don't know if I ever noticed the drama as much as everyone else. I usually hear what is going on after the fact, but because I'm not on social media, I really have no idea what's happening till after the fact.
Sometimes I text you though.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think things come in clusters. I think right now this is a good time. Like I always see, like in March and April, a big uptick in backing. I think January and February are tough for folks. I think people spend a lot of money in December. So it's harder for them early in the year. I think one of the big reasons why we're seeing what we're seeing is, holiday bills are paid off, maybe tax returns are coming in, what have you, and people have money to spend. That's my little take on it.
All right, well, let's go through and talk about some of the campaigns. Starlight Cats hit 100,000, which
that was fun.
I'm blown away with. Like, I remember this campaign. Like, it started off pretty good, like 45K, which is pretty good, but 45,000 to 100,000 is a ginormous gap. So he's worked his ass off.
I gotta stop. I gotta read one of Mobig's comments. George just heard about Lincoln and Booth beefing. Booth was the guy that shot Lincoln back in the day.
The thing about this campaign, Rob, more than hitting 100,000, it hasn't stopped. Like, it seemed like it was a slow crawl to 100,000, but once it hit 100,000, now it's at 102. Like, has it even been a week since it hit 100?
I don't think so. When was it, Leroy? It was only like 3 or 4 days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to shout out Shane too. Like, some creators are really good with fans. You, Bancroft, Merck. I mean, we go through the list all the time. Shane is one of those guys. I put a stream on just to do it. He didn't have to join. He came and joined almost the entire stream, hung out with us until we broke 100,000, and just hung out with fans. There was no creators on there. I mean, you guys did pop in to say congratulations, but it was just us fans, and that was a great time. More of that from creators. That's great.
Shane's hilarious. He's an acquired taste, but man, he's funny.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, I think I heard you laugh a couple times yesterday. That was weird. I usually don't do that.
Dude, I find what Shane says really funny. It's just that, like, you know, when you're in like a chill mood and then you walk into like a Shane stream and it's like, you know, it's craziness. Like it's not like, you know, a slow build up. It's just 100% insane from the get go. But yeah, the fact that he got to 100K, I think is really impressive. And I don't know about you guys, like Starlight Cats, it's not the most exciting thing for me. Like, you know, it would be cool for me and my daughter to read it, but Project Rex that he's going to do next is going to be a lot more up my alley. Are you guys in the same kind of?
I'm a cat lover myself. I'm excited about this book.
I'm more excited about it since he closed the 60 day after the campaign was over and he started dropping artwork with more stuff than just the cats and Rebecca. Then I started getting more excited about it. Like there's mechs, there's blood, all kind of stuff. So it's good stuff.
Rick says, one good thing about Shane's book, it's cats and it's safe for kids. All stuff I'm not into.
That's fine. There's all Not every book is for everybody.
But it is good too that it is like an all ages book, because I don't know how many of those we actually have.
I know Joe Fulton is really promoting his universe to be all ages, which I'm looking forward to. Like it's one of those things where it's like you can have it in your house, and even if your kids don't read it, like you don't mind if they pick it up.
What would you recommend Replicator for an all ages audience? All right, so yeah, great job by Shane. Great to see him hanging out with fans. It's a big deal.
He's worked his ass off too. I mean, let's not beat around the bush.
Dude, like I said that when he was on that with that stream with you guys. Like, I don't think anyone's worked as hard as he has to get to 100K. Honestly, like he's put in work, streaming every day, pretty much, for hours. Craziness. I forgot what I was going to say.
You say that's one win. Starlight Cats is a win. So what's more? Let's go on another win.
I think that's a massive win.
Absolutely.
I think it's a huge win. Next win, Graveyard Shift Variance. It took him 3 days to beat my total, which is pretty slack for John Malin.
3 days on a book he already funded.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I want to bring this up real quick about him doing this. So there was an explosion of new people since this whole Zack Snyder thing went down, and him launching this right after that happened is a move of brilliance, because there's a lot of new people here that haven't got a back Graveyard Shift, and now they'll be able to use this campaign to catch up. So, I mean, this is just really good thinking by John right here. And this him getting all of these artists in this swimsuit edition. And I'm not even like that gung-ho about AAT comics. That's not my thing. But with the talent in this book, I had to back it. Like, I had to. Yeah,
me too. This is the first and only campaign I've ever refunded, by the way. I wanted to get that #1 spot, and I missed it. As I bought Visions. So then I refunded it and picked up the Blood Bag instead, because I wanted those Fetchy covers, man. Once I heard, one, it was Aaron, and two, that you can put them together and it makes a big image, I'm like, hell yeah, I'll get that.
Now, George, this is going to be the first time you back Graveyard Shift, right, on this campaign? Is that what you're telling me?
I usually stay away from campaigns that advertise themselves to be like the X-Men. But what sold me was the Aaron Fetchy covers. So there is a tier that has the book 3, the supplemental, and book 1 and 2 in a combined trade, and that's the one I'm going to be going for. I think it's it right there. So
that one?
Yeah, I normally would just get the trade and then 3, but I have heard there's a writer I like that's in the supplemental book that I want to get. So
who would that be?
That would be Rob Arnold.
Oh, gross. That's the worst part of the campaign.
That's my character there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good to see Rob and Aaron unite again.
Speaking of X-Men, George, you really missed out on the auction yesterday. There was like 17 or 18 quality Wolverine pieces being auctioned off.
There really was. There was
you're
a
not
lot
exaggerating?
No.
Yeah, this is a huge win, and he's talking about doing a Visions too, and he's mentioned that he wants to do other CG characters. So I'm speculating heavily here that if he did a Visions 2, it would be for other CG characters. Speculation.
Wonder if he did a Visions 2 on Heather Swain.
Well, I'd assume it would. Well, I hope it would be a mix. 'Cause damn, I want to get Ghost in there.
Have we seen Ghost without her?
Yep, we have. But
Okay.
I'd want to keep the helmet on. Helmet on.
No.
Swimsuit.
No.
No. George?
Either way.
Just doesn't care.
Do not care in the slightest. But that's really cool, man. Because like, if the speculation is correct, right? So, helping fund John helps us as well. Because like John puts a lot of money back into the community. Like, how many artists have got paid to do this?
A lot. You're one of them.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, in terms of hiring actual artists from the community, he has to be the number one person.
One sec. Manifesto's asking, the supplemental is not Visions. No, they're two different. The supplemental book and Visions book are two different books. Manifesto.
Rick says, if you didn't get Rob's post, you missed out on that bad boy. It's fantastic. Thank you, Rick.
Absolutely. He posted that on Twitter. He posted a picture where he hung it up. He framed it and everything. Look good. Look great.
Mine's not even framed yet. I've had it for months. We don't have 24 by 36 frames here. Thanks, Leroy.
Well, I have a 24 by 36 Battle Brick Road poster framed right next to me right now.
Oh, well, you say that, but I mean, we've never seen it, so how do we know it's true?
It's on Twitter. I posted it.
Well, damn. You've proved you wrong right there, didn't you? Yeah, but this looks really cool. Really bright colors.
Yeah, I like the colors on this. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's cool, George. I'm excited that you're going to pick this up.
Yeah, it's got to wait till next week. My credit card's on overload right now, but there's like 6 campaigns I'm looking at for April.
Zayd says, excited to read that Nightwalker story, Rob. Well, yeah, me too, man. Me too.
You already read it, Rob.
What?
You already read the story. You just need to see the artwork now.
Yeah. I wonder if I'll get comps. I don't know. I don't send my artist comps. I don't know if I should. Probably should.
You said you do or you don't?
Well, you should send everybody but Corey comps, I think.
Yeah. All right, so this is a huge win again. Like 50K in less than a week again. Like,
that's
incredible.
Big.
Massive.
That's big. Yeah, well, remember we were talking like, is Trent Kanuga, behind the scenes, Rob and I were talking, is Trent Kanuga going to be the first one to hit 6 figures this year? I don't think so now. I think it might be John. We'll see, though. It's going to be close, I think. I mean, when they launch a campaign this year, of course, Shane did it first. But, I mean, a campaign that launches here, I think Trent's going to do it, and I thought he was going to be the first, but now it might be Malin.
Amanda B says, downfall of that campaign is they added a tier for the Visions and the compilation after I back. Don't plan a refund, though. Dude, like, yeah, I don't know what you guys think about this, but I think it's fine to refund if you're going to upgrade your purchase. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
So don't feel hesitant about that.
I would tell Amanda to go ahead and do that. It does frustrate me, Malin, a little bit that he refuses to use add-ons. Like, I get that he doesn't want to, but it just makes things so much easier from a fan's perspective. So I wish he would.
And that's something that maybe he should do. It's a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare logistically for him and everyone that does it. Like when I fulfill, it's going to be horrendous. But you do it for the fans and you do it to make a little bit of extra money. So it's got to be done. Zaid says he agrees with Leroy.
You should post like pics and little videos of your stuff when you're fulfilling, Rob. Like partly to give people updates and partly so we can laugh. I mean, see what you're doing.
You know what I like
Yeah.
that Eric and Vaughn did is they did a fulfillment live stream. That was fun. I wish more people would do that. You know, just have the camera on while you're sitting there bagging and boarding. That's a good stream. I don't know why more people don't do that.
It's funny though. Like, are you one of the people that, like, if someone says something when you're typing, you'll type out what they've said? So if I'm signing a book, I'll do exactly what Vaughn did and write whatever he wrote instead of his signature.
Yeah, but you don't need to be in front of. You could be bagging and boarding and not typing with the chat. Just have somebody on with you that can read the chat while you're bagging and boarding.
I actually like bagging and boarding. It's really therapeutic. All right, so huge win there. Great job, John. And, you know, huge thumbs up for hiring lots of artists.
That cover from Rocafort is freaking killer. Like, George doesn't even like AAT, and he's like, it's pretty good. I mean, let's be real. So,
I like the monster.
Yes, of course he did, George. Of course he did.
I've said this privately, but I think the cover from Charlie Snowgan's Michael Pedro is going to be the best one in the book.
That's not a cover. That's just a spread.
Well, the spread. I think it's going to be the best image in the book. That's my bet. That's my bet.
Well, it's Joe Catapano.
All right, next up, Shelby Robertson, 94. Ragetality was War, number 1. I'm marking this down as a success. What do you guys think?
Well, if you look at his campaign, his campaign before this, or his 2 campaigns before this is a huge success. I mean, out of the gate, he's already blown his other 2 campaigns out of the water.
Yeah. And, like, I think people sleep on Shelby as an artist, man. I think, like, he's right up there. Like, look at this stuff. Like, the way he does, like, anatomy and poses, I don't think many people can nail as well as he does.
It's like Liefeld, but way better.
Yeah, you said it. Oh, that's a bit too much for George, that one. Let's move on. Oh, and just quickly, I want to go back to Graveyard Shift for a second here. So I don't know if John had these all up to 100K, did he?
Yes, from the beginning.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Damn.
Clayton's on there.
Yeah.
Clayton's been quiet lately.
John, if you're watching this, which you won't be, you need to unlock these. They're both unlocked now. Yeah, so Shelby, he's obviously improved. I know George and Leroy had some constructive criticism about the lettering in his previous book. He's addressed that. I don't know if you're aware of that, George. I asked him on Bancroft.
I saw it on Bancroft, yep. Yeah,
and he's going to change that. I consider that a win, man. A double win, really, because, you know, he's done a lot better. He's got on streams and he's promoted it, and he is going to fix the problem that people had with his previous book. I mean, that's sensational to me. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. It's another one I haven't backed yet, but plan on doing so shortly. I mean, anytime you just fund, I think it should be, this is great. And he's obviously way past that, and he's still in his first 10 days.
George, he got 9,500. Do you know what that means?
Poker chip.
We get a poker chip.
Yep.
That's exciting.
I like poker chips.
Me too.
Yeah, I backed this one. The featured, it was just the value of it was too good to pass up. Like 11 by 17 original artwork, like story page,
with 2 full-size books and 3 ash cans
for 140. Like that's ridiculous. You don't get value like that. Like you don't get value like that on my campaign. So
look at the last tier, Rob.
The last tier.
The splash page,
$165.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And about this campaign, I just want to tell Rick Saylor, because you know he's a good buddy of mine, that Rick, I was the #1 backer in this campaign, the first one. So shout out to Rick there. Rick likes it when I say that to him.
Great campaign. Yeah.
This book looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does.
And
The
You
first
guys
one,
really
the
liked
first
the
one was
first
fun.
great stretch goals, a lot of good value already. Even if you just back the basic book, all the stuff that you're going to get, and he unlocks stuff in a timely manner.
Look at these stretch goals, man. This is for the fans, man. This is not for the creator because he's probably not making any money off any of this stuff.
No, and then
Mini
he
print,
went and
trading
added
card, sticker.
he went and added 16 pages in the what was it, the number 4 stretch goal when we didn't even ask for him. He just went and did it.
And these are like very, very achievable goals, like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to list your stretch
800.
goals at the outset, Rob, you should do it like this, I would think, where it's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely reasonable. This might even be too much, man. Like, it's great for us. Don't get me wrong.
One of the things that I like about it as a fan, and this isn't a criticism towards anyone else, is the diversity of it. Like, there's a mini print, there's trading cards, there's additional pages, so now you're upgrading the book, and then there's tiers where you can unlock new tiers. Like, there's all kinds of different stuff in there. Like, once it hits, I think 11,000, you can potentially add a poster. I like that it's a plethora of items.
Rick, what the hell, dude? You bought three of that tier? You're crazy.
He's just compensating for not being number 1 like
No,
I
I
am.
think Rick bought 1 tier and added 2 pages to it because Shelby has tons of nice add-ons. So yeah, this book is laid out nicely, and so is the campaign.
Yeah. Hello, Kat. George, where would this rank in terms of just like campaign page layout for you? Because for me, this is right up there.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I'd make some changes. I'd move this, but like visually, it's a nice journey, all the way down. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
Nice campaign, nice colors. There's black and white. Everything's laid out there. I like that you can look at the stretch goals. It's sharp.
Yeah, let's shout out Mr. Eric von Stugel for joining. We like seeing him in the chat.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. Rick says he bought 3 tiers with an add-on. He dropped $600 on the first day. Craziness, Rick. Good work.
I don't know, but then he immediately called his credit card company and said somebody stole my credit card. I don't know if I trust that.
Yeah, well, putting that in the win category. Absolute. What do you guys? Yeah, you guys talk about this one because you're more familiar with it. Jason Baskin is a really cool dude. That's pretty much all I can really say.
Jason was someone that we saw around, but it was more the chat than anything else that caught my attention. Rick, Crackhead, all these people I've known and trusted for quite some time and respect their opinion, kept on saying how good this book was. And I told Leroy early on, when this next one comes out, we have to back it. Because I didn't back the first one. I'll be the first to admit it. And I am looking forward to this next book. I backed the 2-book tier that comes with book 1 and book 2.
I want to hear why Crackhead likes it so much, because he's a big proponent of this book.
He's a crackhead. Do you really want to hear why?
No, we had Jason on a stream on Leroy's channel, and Crackhead was there, and he understands the world very well.
He does.
And I enjoy just sitting back and listening to the 2 of them talk. Because Jason sometimes doesn't talk about his book enough. Like, it's almost like he's a little bit shy about it. And, Crackhead was getting a lot of good information about it from him. So I really appreciated that. So thank you, Crackhead. And thank you, Rick, too.
I'm on the fence, but I mean, I could easily be converted over to a backer on this one. I really like Jason. Crackhead has sung its praises. I'm right there. Someone pushed me over the edge. But a huge win.
George and I both backed. I mean, what else can we say?
I do wish it was in color. That's my only real criticism. I've liked black and white books in the past, but when you're paying a premium like this, color is almost kind of expected. But I'm going to give it a shot based on what everyone else is saying.
Yeah, Jason was he was trying to sabotage his career the other night on my channel. So, yeah, it was unfortunate.
But I mean, $30 for both books, or
No, that's just these two. Both books is $45. It's for the one
Okay.
and
The
two.
top tier you're looking at is both variants of issue 2.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's some feedback for Jason. I'd always have, well, not always, but I would consider having 1 and 2 as your featured tier because people are coming back and seeing this for the first time. Rick says it's 100% worth it, and he actually likes it in black and white. Manifesto wants to know what your cat's name is, George.
His name is Jack, but I call him the boy because he's the only male in the whole house besides me.
Nice. All right, so this is a big win. It's funded already. It's got heaps of time left.
95 backers.
This is still the first 30 days. So he's 8 days into this and is already funded.
He doesn't mess around either. Like what I like seeing with Shelby and Jason, Patrick is another one. Is these guys are on their second, third campaigns already. Like they're not messing around. So that's good to see. Rob, yes, exactly. Sorry, Rob.
Was I insulted? I missed it.
No, I left you out.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. It happens quite often. All right, so yeah, great job. Another win. Let's move on. Star Circuit, another huge win, I think here.
Absolutely.
This is a book I first saw on How to Draw Comics, and they brought Joe on with like 3 other creators, all just talking about a book they're planning on. And Darren Wagner, who's in chat, and I both said like we're excited for this book. So we've been excited about this book for 3-4 months. And I backed day 1, not on Bancroft's stream, but the next morning, and I'm really looking forward to this book.
Yeah, I backed as well.
Oh, I'm glad he's changed this. I remember looking at this, and it wasn't a high res image, and like on my computer screen, it comes in blurry if it's not high res. So he's changed that. It looks a ton better. That's the Kane and White cover. You can tell straight away when it's Kane's work. Really cool though.
It's unique. Like as soon as you see this, you know whose book it is. Like just by the colors and the layout of the panels and stuff. Like this looks like Joe's book.
Interesting color style too. Like it's very vibrant.
Yeah, this is similar to the Lucent campaign for me, George, where I backed this book a lot based on. I know I gave Joe a hard time about the bisexual lighting, but the colors is what drew me into this book. Much like the Lucent.
And much like 94, this campaign has clear stretch goals that are very unique. You're talking about postcards, prints, pages added. What's the $12,000 one? I think it's a patch.
Yeah.
And that's only, I think, if you look at it, free with any purchase over 32. So now you're promoting like, here's a stretch goal, but you got to have multiple backs on it. I kind of like that.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, very reasonable, achievable stretch goals. That's what people like to see. Like, there's nothing more infuriating when you see like a $250,000 let's get a boat stretch goal. George, do you agree?
I do agree. I said that once, like 6 months ago.
I remember. Yeah, this is brilliant. And Joe's been building his own audience on his own channel. He pops in here, every often, but he's not here every day. But he does make the rounds. He's building his own audience.
Well, he's in the chat quite a bit too. So even if he's not on the panel, he's in the chat.
And 204 backers. I have. This is my kind of theory, right? And it's not right or wrong, but I think level 1 is get your book funded. 250 backers is an incredible first campaign. I don't care who you are or what level it is. That is an incredible first campaign, and he is 46 away from that. So I think he's going to make that easily, if not a lot more. So I think that's a big win. You guys agree on that?
Yeah, totally. He's another guy like Eddie Winkler, where he's getting better every stream he does, he's getting better on camera. So, like you'll see him getting more comfortable streaming. Like now he's awesome to watch. Like I'll pop into the stream and he's very entertaining. So he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He'll do really well in Comicscape.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Next one. Only Death Can Save Us. So we've put this on because who was saying it was good? I can't remember.
I
Is that a
did.
joke?
Leroy. I don't know. No. Leroy is saying it was one of the best books he's read in a while.
Well, this is a win for the fans more than the creator. After reading this book, first I would say that the layout, which I think is a good layout, but still does not do the book justice. When you open up the book, it just looks way better than just these pages that he has shown, and that's not really an insult to his. I just don't think it can be helped. But the story was good. The art is fantastic. I really love the sequentials in the Shnu by Nolan, and this is every bit as good. And so that's high praise, right? Exactly. So the story was really good. There was a WTF moment at the end. It's just really good. So it's a win for the fans. You get a bunch of extras. So like whenever you come across a book that's not well known and it ends up being good, this book has a satin finish. It's perfect bound, and the pages feel like newsprint, but they're not newsprint at all. So the quality of the book is probably it's probably quality wise, the feel wise, it's my favorite book since I've been in CG.
Here's some critique, Russ. I would when I'm running campaigns, I always put it in US dollars. So I put stretch goals in US dollars, not pounds. And it's hard to tell what has actually been unlocked here. So that is something I would rectify. Because you said £9,000. That's probably pretty close to unlocked right now. I don't know if anyone's got a GBP.
No, he's already fulfilled this book, though. I don't know if he's still unlocked.
Yeah, there's nothing else to unlock.
Yeah.
The campaign's done.
Oh, done. Okay, cool. Well, next time. So a win for the fans, this one.
Absolutely.
And 223 backers, that's nothing to sneeze at. We see crazy backer numbers from people like 10,000, 3,000, 1,000, right? But that's the tippity top. You've got to start somewhere, and if you can get 200, 250, that is a great job.
You know what was really cool about this book too that I haven't mentioned, Rob, is I ordered it from England, and I had it in Kansas a week later.
That's crazy. That's so impressive. So he would literally have to package it that day and send it the next day. That's very, very, very good. All right. One more I wanted to talk about before. Let me stop sharing for a second before we go.
I want to shout out Magic Cop 2. I think that was a win. And Nerium Bonds. That was a win as well.
Yeah. Well, let me get those up too.
That's what I'm saying is you look around and things are going really well in Comicsgate right now, I would say.
How do you define win?
Well, for Phil Diaz or the Diaz brothers, I would say that's a win because they're already past what they made total last time, like in their campaign. Like that has to be a win.
We'll bring up Bonds and Magic Cop 2 in a second. War Party by Murph. I think this is a huge win because he had 334 backers. Again, great for a first campaign. Just under 15,000. He's doubled that. If not, he's more than doubled that in demand. You don't do that. So Murph has turned this from a good campaign into an incredible campaign.
I just recently backed this because he keeps adding. He keeps tempting you over and go, well, I'm doing this and I don't know. And then finally I just relented. I'm like, all right, I got to get this. So.
And we were talking, I was talking about this with Murph. And I said, do you think people are going to get sick of you adding things? Because, like, now it's backer fatigue. It's a real thing.
Absolutely.
But he just said, yeah, that's a concern, but he's only adding things he thinks people would like, stuff that he would like himself. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's fair. I back the slipcase. I back the book, the extra book. I can't remember what it was, George. I think you backed it as well.
I did. I think it was the updates book.
That looked cool. Like you
Yeah.
had stickers and all this kind of stuff.
I thought that was a clever idea.
So I've backed this like 3 or 4 times.
I backed it twice. I backed
look at this.
the main 6-book tier, and then I added the updates book. And that's all I've done. But yeah, like, who knows how much more is coming?
This is cool. That's really clever. A little GIF. Man, yeah, like he's done really, really well. I think this is a huge win for him. I don't know how much money he'll make off this campaign, but I'm pretty sure he's in the camp of, building the reputation, making a great product, and then next time he'll make some money. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
I mean, we both backed it.
We all backed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Twice at least.
Rick, how many times have you backed this one? 36?
I know he did at least 5. He might have done more since then.
Yeah. Crackhead points out a thing that was really important. The secret tier thing was really smart, which is basically just sending the backers, an update to get a secret tier with free shipping. It's going to be a nightmare logistically for Murph to do, but that's not on the fans. That's on the creators. So yeah, great job. Bonds, another first campaign, 257 backers, 12.5K. Great job.
Yeah, I want to say this. We're getting numb to the fact that we see some creators pulled out these huge numbers. A first-time creator making $10,000 and getting $250 on a first campaign is really good. I just think we've got a little bit numb to numbers.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, I'd say, like, first time creator, you should be your goal should be get funded. If you want to have a really great campaign, 250 backers is really good for a first time. That should be kind of like your goal. If you're able to smash that, fantastic. But for a first time, that's really good work. The art on this campaign is really top notch. I'd like to see it higher up on the page.
Her talent is undeniable, I would say. Like, it may not be for everybody, it's not everybody's style, but looking at this, it's really good, George. I know it's probably not you and I probably agree, but the talent, you can't deny it here.
Yeah, I don't get the manga or black and white thing. I'm not the one to ask.
Yeah, I get that, George. But look at like a page like this. Yeah, does that appeal to you or not? No. Okay, that's interesting.
Sorry.
That's fine, man. That's fine. All right. Magic Cop 2. Leroy, take this one away.
Yeah, so he's just outpacing Magic Cop 1 by leaps and bounds here. Like, he's doing much better this time than he did last time. So,
what was he saying? He raised more on this in like 3 days or something.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah?
He's in the chat right now. He could probably speak to it. But
yeah, Phil, clarify that for us. It's much like Replicator. Like 3 destroyed 2 was in like a week or something. I can't remember what it was. It was craziness. So I think it's testament to the fact that if you deliver a good product, respect your backers, you can build this thing if you want to. It's there. Like, there's people there for you to get on board.
Mo Biggs.
What's he
Mo
saying?
Biggs says, the Bonds art is top notch. The story, what if Team Jacob was the focus of Twilight, and it was a manger. Wasn't up my alley, though. He doesn't like it, that's manger. Phil says, we broke our 2 months in 1 day, and now we just passed our whole time funding Magic Cop 1. And he's got 30 more days left. So that's huge win. It's got to be a big win.
Oh, and he's only got 10 hours left here.
Yeah, on his first 30.
Oh.
Yeah. So, K Manifesto has already done it. Links in the chat. Go check it out.
Manger.
Let's have a look at this one. The Lucent. See, to me, this is the tippity top of first campaigns. You don't get better than this unless things line up for you. You get on all the big streams. You get promoted by all the time. This is crazy, George.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at nothing else but the backer number, and that is a 3-4 time creator or a mainstream person kind of a thing, not a first time creator that previously I didn't hear of. That is a huge number of backers.
Huge.
You haven't hit that yet, right, Rob?
No. I'm still beating him barely. He's catching up. I'm on 49,700 Aussie dollars. And he's like 500-600 away now.
What does Bancroft have again? Can you go back to that, please? He has 717. Just to give you an example, Kenneth Roquefort's Grokran has 877, and Roquefort's one of the, if not the best mainstream comic artist there is. That's telling you something.
I think it might be a testament too, George, to Bancroft's fan engagement, his presence in the community. We harp on these creators to make a YouTube channel and grow your audience. Nobody in Comicsgate outside of Ethan, Shane, whatever, but nobody has done that better than Michael Bancroft.
Yeah, he's not stepping in with high name variant covers. He has one cover. He has like very simple tiers. He did add the puzzle at the end. I understand that. But what was that, 25 backers? I mean, this is all from the strength of his book.
I think you made a really good point, George. Like, you've got Roquefort here, one of the best artists, and then you've got a virtually unknown person who's built his channel up, right? So it shows what someone can do by building their channel up. I think it's incredible.
Plus, in all honesty, the book does look good.
It does.
Oh, it looks great. It does look great.
His colors are some of the best in Comicsgate. And of course, we always say the backgrounds, the cityscapes. I mean,
that's his strength for sure.
Mo Big says this is going to sound like an insult, but it isn't. One of Bancroft's biggest strengths is knowing his weaknesses.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Amanda says, Rob, I need a new puzzle. Well, that's interesting.
We'll get Eric Weathers to put out a Battle Brick Road poster or puzzle. It's all right, Rob. Don't worry about it.
George, where's the Tums at, mate? Where's the Tums? Hozor, Descent into Madness. Again, I think this is a really, really huge win. First time creator in Corey Clayton. Nearly 500 backers, nearly 30,000 USD. It's a bit. I think this one gets overlooked a little bit because Clayton's got a big channel, but it's not really a super active channel. They're more art focused people. So I think like this is exceptional work. What do you guys think about that?
I was backer number 2 on this campaign. I've been excited about this since it first launched. I've been excited about this campaign since before it launched. I'm really impressed with everything they've done, everything they've added. I can't be more excited than for how they've done.
They did come out of the gate swinging. This is the first time we tested that plan of launching for 12 hours on one stream and going out and going on other people's streams. They had like 149 backers day one. So, I mean, it obviously works. I think they've done an incredible job.
I agree.
And Corey keeps getting better and better as far as engaging with the community, being in chats. He's getting better and better with doing that, much to Mo Biggs' chagrin. But
he's better at it than Clayton is recently. So hats off to Corey. You've got to give him props for that.
Absolutely.
Love you. So yeah, that's really cool. So any others, guys? That is the list we have.
I think the only one we may have passed up it would be Sovereign Wolf by Eddie Winkler. I think that's a big win. But just thinking off the top of my head, that would be it. We talked about Absolute, and from what the chat is saying, Absolute 1 was a fan win, because it wasn't a big campaign, but the fans that got it were really happy. But as far as the creator wins, Eddie, for a guy he works construction, right? So he can't just stream all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just don't have it in them, or they can't. But $20,000, 431 backers,
huge win,
impressive. Yeah,
first campaign as well. Like he's above the bar. The artwork looks great. The colors look great. Look at that. That's sensational. And it's really good value too. Like, where's the basic? This is it here. 25 USD, novel, print, 3 trading cards, and all stretch goals. So
and he's adding the very first issue, black and white issue, for free for every backer.
And it's over 100 pages. So that conversation we're having probably weeks ago now about Ethan is the guideline for that $25 amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not Ethan, you've got to provide value in other ways. He's done that both ways. He's put extra pages, 100 pages, extra prints, extra trading cards.
No, I agree. Now, if you don't mind, I asked this earlier, Rob, when you went away. I was talking about what constitutes a win, and it seems like everyone's really focused on how much money or how many backers you're getting. I'm just a fan. I'm only ever going to be a fan, and to me, the win really is when the book is good. Like, when I get the book and I'm like, this was just what I wanted, and I really want to give a shout out to Johnny Phantasm 1985. Not only did I get the book and was it what I wanted, everything that I complained about in the past, because I know I'm a very loud complainer, was addressed. Things that I thought were kind of things that I thought were kind of lacking in the first issue were very clearly improved upon in the second issue. Leroy and I had a review about it the other day that we posted, but to me, the win constitutes are the fans happy? That's the win. And to me, with that book, that was a win. Yeah,
well, I think a win can be multiple things. Mm-hmm. From the backers, but we talked about Russ Leach's one. That's a win for the fans. Yes. Johnny Phantasm is a win for the fans.
Right, you delivered wins for the fans.
Yes,
Replicator too.
Yep.
So I think Rage Tality's War will be a win for the fans because Shelby has listened to what we've said, what you guys have said. Whether that's preemptive, we don't know if it'll actually happen, but he's listened. So it sounds like he's making changes. So that's a win. I think there's wins everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Things are great.
Yeah, and we talked about it. I don't know if it is because there isn't much drama and we're just noticing it more, or we're in a really good spot here.
I like it when it is a good spot. It makes me happy.
Manifesto says no mention of the Replicator. Yeah, I guess we could, huh?
What's the Replicator?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is a giant win too. This isn't my first campaign, but yeah, nearly 40,000 US, nearly 50,000 Australian, which is crazy. Huge improvement from the previous campaign. Some of the best covers that you'll see in CG.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a win all day for me. I'm so incredibly happy and proud of what me and so many other people have helped. You guys have helped me so much. So yeah, huge win for me. I don't know what you guys think.
We'll find out once we get in the mail.
Exactly.
Oh, damn.
Exactly.
God.
We don't know if it's a win for us yet.
You guys are savage. All right. So there's a few other things that we had. Groken has had a big jump lately.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that, Leroy George?
I
have a theory, and Leroy has a theory. You go first, Leroy.
Well, this is what I want to say about Groken. I think Groken, more than any other campaign, shows the power of the community we have, because the word of Groken getting out. Kenneth has like language issues, and like on stream, so he's one of those guys where sometimes streaming just isn't great for him. But it's the community that's rallying. You see his tweets everywhere. People are sharing the word on their own. The community is has a lot of is responsible for the success of this campaign, I would say.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the artwork looks incredible. I mean, I love this, don't I? I always go on about that. But it does look sensational. And I think Leroy in the chat have done a huge job to get this out in front of people.
There's a couple of things. I think Kenneth putting that cover on for Visions,
Absolutely.
and then being on with Malin. Because it was one day, boom, like 50 backers like that, and it coincided with that cover coming out. That was big, and I think people are starting to realize this book really is going to close down in 3 days. Like, this is like your last chance to get this. He is not putting this in demand, and actually now it says 2 days. It said 3 days just a few minutes ago. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, it's just updated.
So you really have less than 3 days to get this book. Even if it's just like the $25 tier, this is your chance. I backed it. I backed it as much as I could afford. I plan on giving this to people that I know are a fan of his, just to introduce them to his work, to this type of independent work, not just his DC stuff.
George, you and I often discuss like our favorite artists, great artists, or whatever. I'd say this about Rocafort. He's a generational talent. Rocafort is. And he's Comicsgate, which that's a big deal.
I liked Kenneth. I've liked his artwork for years.
Absolutely.
I have not spoken to someone that said, and Leroy and I disagree on stuff, and there's artists that he likes and I don't, and vice versa. I have not spoken to one person who's told me this art is just not for me.
And the thing is, this is something to consider as well. I don't know what Kenneth is going to do with this book. You may not be able to get copies of this once it's done. There may not be a second campaign. I have no idea what's happening. With Malin, there's going to be another campaign that you can pick stuff up in. But with this, does anyone know what he's doing next?
I know what you mean. Is he going to print extra copies to be involved in the second campaign? Is he going to have a second print cover? We have no idea, and I wouldn't put it past him to say, nope, this is it.
Yeah, I would get on this, because I don't know if he is. I don't know what he's going to do. I hope he does Groken 2 or another thing, but this could be it.
It's 7 installments, I believe he said.
Yep.
7. Okay,
Manifesto says the covers are good, but my favorite art, if you scroll down, is the scene where it shows the tower.
The castle, yeah, in the background. Yes, that's my favorite as well.
Look at that.
That's the one.
It's beautiful.
It reminds me of Lord of the Rings so much.
Yeah, exactly.
I imagine that this will look just a million times better in print as well.
Yes. I'm glad you said that, and Leroy said something in the past. A lot of times you see this stuff on screen, or you see the digital copy. It looks so completely different when it's printed.
Yeah.
And typically different better.
Yeah. That Replicator 2 cover by Aaron with the mech and the fire, I was like, yeah, it's all right. But then when you see it actually in print, it looks sick. So yeah, that is another one. One quick one is Monster MD is getting into people's hands, and by all accounts, so far, it's very impressive. I think that's a huge win as well. Leroy. Sensational input.
I mean, look at the numbers on that thing. $90,000+. I mean, it's been a long time coming, I know. And I know it's been frustrating for Vaughn, but I know he's super happy to finally be putting that in people's hands. And people are shouting it out left and right when they get it.
Yeah, so what I
Yeah.
would say is that's a win for creators, but it's also a win for fans. By every account I've read, this is a great book. People have been singing its praises, so maybe this is a win for everybody. Monster MD.
And I think a win for the fans is a win for the creators too, because if you have a book that's great and people are shouting it out, it has the potential to bring more people into CG, right? And if we're producing, good book after good book, it's only going to grow. If we're producing, crap book after crap book, it's not going to help us in any way.
I think with Vaughn at 95,000, we need to twist his arm to stream and just get it to 100K for another win.
Yeah, I
We need
agree.
more wins. More wins.
I agree. So that is all of the books that we had. Is there any chat? Is there any books that we've missed? Let us know. And quickly, the art auction, that was a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Leroy?
Yeah, I think first of all they got better with there was 4 sessions. They did really good in a few aspects. They said who was going to be on each session, but even then, each artist went on to Twitter and put out what pieces were going to be on each session. They got better. They added. They refined as they were going through. Each session got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. That somebody they put in that had to be like a logistical nightmare to put that together. You had some people in there. And, they were creators, but they're not huge creators, and they took the time and put that together. It's the power of the community, man.
Yeah, huge amount of work. I when I first heard about it, I didn't think it would be as big as what it was, with so many creators on there, and some people I haven't heard of. So I think that is just incredible. And they raised a lot of money, or they made a lot of money for the artists. I think it was great.
Yeah, 12, 13K, somewhere around there, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I don't know what Ethan's doing with the auctions, but it probably, I think we've talked about this, it shouldn't all be on Ethan to do anyway. I actually like this kind of format because you can, when people are going to be on. If you have a favorite artist, you can go and bid on their stuff at a particular time. I think George was interested in Russ Leach.
Mm-hmm.
So Russ Leach was on in the morning here. I don't know what time it was for you guys. Yeah, I think it was really, really great, and I hope that they do it. Every 3 or 4 months.
I think that's a lot. I think 2-3 times a year would be good.
I think twice a year would be plenty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they chose a good time, to do it in December would be tough, or January. They chose March, that was a good time. And 6 months from now in September, probably another good time before the holidays start. Timing is important.
Yeah, Crackhead says knowing the time slots ahead of time was great. Yeah, I agree. And it was really cool because it felt like, with Ethan's auctions, the prices are going to go pretty high. And with this kind of stuff, you felt like you had a chance if you really wanted something. And I think that was pretty cool. George says he has to drop out. Just drop out when you have to, George. Don't worry.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And that is pretty much it for all the things we wanted to cover. Is there anything else you wanted to cover, guys?
Yeah, we're going to have a Groken closeout stream on my channel with the one in Kenneth Rocafort. I believe it's Tuesday night. I'll be communicating that on Twitter. I'm sure Jeremy and Amanda will get the word out, but that's happening on my channel. So
awesome. That's going to be sick. I'll try and hang out for a bit. That would be really cool.
Did you back it, Rob?
Yeah. He tricked me into backing the A and B tier.
Okay. How did he trick you to do that?
He wouldn't let me back the one I wanted, so I had to back both.
And then we have a review up for Johnny Phantasm 1985 up on my channel.
Oh, beautiful. Genuine Comics says Perfect 10 2 broke 8,000 today. Sensational, man. That's really cool. Really cool to hear. And just a final note, when you go on streams, start with the smaller streams. Make sure all your audio, your video is working, and then head to the bigger streams, because you may only get one shot, and if you're not set up right, you might not get another one. That's all I would say.
Okay.
Leroy?
What?
He's like, I'm touching that with a 10-foot pole. Anyway, thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great day. We will see you next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Later, chat.
Adios.